Chat room, Randy AROZARENA comes up with his first walk-off for the Seattle Mariners. What a game. What an absolute game for the Seattle Mariners. Obviously, the win by the Houston Astros does not help, but a loss from I believe, the Tigers and the Twins puts the Mariners at 2.5 games back of the American League wildcard, the third spot there. Joe, obviously, we were both watching this game. What are your thoughts after watching Randy walk it off?
I was honestly a little scared. There's definitely a little bit of I don't want to say a hole in Randy's swing. Sometimes it feels like when he wants to do as much damage as he physically can to a baseball, but he did make contact. And I think any semblance of making contact in that at bat was going to lead to a run with how hard he was swinging for whatever, unless it was just like a line drive right at someone, which it kind of was, but it was, I think, just away enough from Josh Smith for it to eke away, and just good vibes all around. I was setting things up on the back end here, but Colton, let me pass it back to you so you can talk about how good the post game interview was, because you were ranting and raving about it
Oh my
prior to
goodness.
us getting on here.
Yeah, WK Kenny, hope work goes well for you, buddy. Yeah, the post game interview was just peak, man. Randy's English isn't that great, so he had Julio kind of translating for him, and the two of them up there was just so much fun. And Randy, so it looked like Victor and Julio had grabbed the Gatorade bucket, we're gonna douse him with it, but instead Randy grabbed it from them and like ice bucket challenged himself right there in the middle of the field, and then he looked up to the stands, walked forward, and then went to the fans.
Hell yeah.
It was so fun. It was so much fun to see Randy up there just having fun for what looks like the first time as a Seattle Mariner. Victor Robles continues to be explosive as well. I think that Julio is on another planet right now. They probably did the right thing by walking him. And
Yeah.
they probably planned I think they wanted to face Randy there.
Mhm.
They walked Julio probably on purpose. They probably walked Cal
They weren't
on
going to
purpose
throw
as
him a
well.
strike. Like if
Right.
anything, Cal was going to expand the zone. And I mean, look at his box score the whole night. He goes 0 for 1 with 4 walks. Like Cal
Yeah.
wasn't expanding the zone really at all in this one. So it wasn't a surprise to me, I guess, to see them pitch away from him, given sure there's a double play like that you could roll over there with Cal, but I feel like you probably rather get Randy, who was 0 for 4 going into that plate appearance, and have a force out at every spot around the infield kind of a thing. And sure, there's plenty of speed to go around the diamond, but if you're in, Randy hits a ball, like Robles is probably out at home kind of a thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just the place in which Randy hit it, it was non-playable. Just because, I mean, again, he freaking smoked that baseball. Another good, I think, overall complete offensive game. Not like the most potent, but you get 10 hits. You only strike out 8 times. You walk 6 times. I think the thing that you're probably missing this game that could have been like the dagger earlier on was you go 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position, you leave 10 on base. I think you kind of tweeted about it like Victor loving the bunt play. That was early on in this game. You probably could have chased Scherzer in that inning if Robles gets a hit there, but instead he tries to lay down a bunt, and to no avail. He just bunts it straight back to Scherzer. Again, that's nitpicking from the very beginning of this game. Overall, like very, very satisfied with how this game ended up going. It was pretty frustrating at times watching Logan give up 2 bombs, but he's not going to be perfect every time out. Similar to, I guess, Emerson Hancock, he did his job. Like 4 earned was just the right amount. I mean, 4 to 5 scoreline. That's been all 3 scorelines in this series so far. So
Oh yeah, huh? I didn't
tomorrow,
think about that.
tomorrow, if it's anything other than 5 to 4, it'll be a weird one to say the least, based on like how these games have gone.
Yeah, I think that Kyle, Austin, hello boys. Autumn asks, is there any hope for the playoffs? Yeah, absolutely. Especially right now. Like I said, the Twins and the Tigers both lost today, so the
Mm-hmm.
Mariners are now 2.5 games back.
Yeah.
The Mariners will have an off day on Monday, which is where I think a lot of teams are going to make up those half games that the Mariners have. But overall, I mean, this was a must-win game for the Mariners, and there were so many times in this game specifically where I was just like, well, that's it. Like the home run to by Simeon, I was like, well, they
Yeah.
ain't coming back from that. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And they eventually did. And so I think because of that, this is something that we haven't really seen much from this team this year. They usually look like they just lay down and die. But lately, especially the past couple of games, they have looked very, very good at the plate. Looked like they wanted to be out there to win the game. And like you said, Logan wasn't perfect. It wasn't his best game. But in the end, he, like you said, he got the job done. It wasn't pretty. He wasn't great. Really good shutdown inning there when he came back out for the 6th.
Yeah.
To bridge the gap to Troy Taylor in the 7th. Taylor did a great job. Snyder did a great job, and Andres did a great job. I mean, that was just the perfect like lineup of guys out of the bullpen that you could ask for. Interesting to see where they are at tomorrow in terms of bullpen with George on the mound, who has not been great. Hopefully, George can go out there and shove tomorrow and look like the George of old. But if not, going to be an interesting way to piece it together out of the bullpen.
Colton, I'm seeing a caca from Dizzle Toes. Is this deserving?
We haven't Phoenix in a while.
I mean, I feel like last night should have been a Phoenix, if anything. We should have Phoenixed yesterday, but we can do it now if need be.
Count me down.
3, 2, 1. There we go. That's all
Phoenix makes, baby.
That's all you're gonna get out of us. That was a good win. I agree. I kind of like mentioned it, like talking about like how the game went offensively. Like the 1 for 6 runners in scoring position, team left on base 10. Those last couple of innings, like you get the Turner leadoff double, pinch runner Dylan Moore, and you don't do anything with it. It's just like unfortunate, like turn of events. But I guess like in hindsight, if you know that you're gonna get a Randy walk-off, maybe they knew. Maybe the script leaked early and they knew that a Randy walk-off. Because like if there's something to like get you more bought in to like, and not to say that Randy's not, but like if there was a doubt that maybe he's struggling with like the transition from Tampa to Seattle, like sometimes whatever, a walk-off win has got to be one of the most like bring together moments in just sports in general. Walk-off buzzer beater, like anything, right? It's just a good vibe overall. Luke Raley was the first one out there. Again, it helps that he's in the on-deck circle, but he has probably one of the longest, sprints to run. People on the like far end of the dugout up by the first base bag, they're not beating Luke Raley there, but Luke Raley, he's that guy. He's just busting down the line.
Nobody knows how to celebrate harder than Luke Raley. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to be a full game ahead of them? Yes, we do. We do, because they all own the tiebreaker, Jack. Yep. That part is true. Can we get a turkey impression? No. All right. You can get it from Joe. Braden, how are you, man? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, man. Luke Raley, best player. I mean, set his career high in homers tonight. So
he's the GOAT.
I mean, we're just waiting now for Cal to do it. The train was crazy today. Jam-packed with Apple Cup and Mariners game was insane. Congrats, Cougs fans being 3-0 and M's fans being good and the city connects. Yeah, I'm waiting for the tweet. I'm waiting for the tweet that says City connects tomorrow, but I haven't gotten it yet.
My only, again, like the thing that I think about is not every single year, but in years past, there's been a Marineros Sunday cream jersey on Hispanic Heritage Day or whatever.
Right.
We'll see how it goes. I'm honestly like, if they've printed it, just sell them to us for low amounts of money and where the city connects again. Anytime you're at home, you should be in the city connects.
If they wear the Marineros tomorrow and they lose, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like get like that. That's on them. Like no Marineros jerseys. Like what the hell? I don't care.
Rock the city connects.
Win baseball games. I don't care about no Marineros jersey. They look sick.
Hey,
you know what I mean? But Robles and Rojas need to be the main people acknowledged in this game. And I mean, obviously Randy, Luke, and Julio came in clutch, but Rojas was a stud on defense, and Robles is the best on our team. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. There were a few moments where Robles. There were 3 moments in this game specifically where Robles kind of made me mad.
The bunt
in the first inning, he just kind of like dogged his way to a ball that ended up being a double. Didn't lead to anything.
Oh, with the Wyatt Langford play or whatever?
Right. Yeah, it didn't lead to anything. Then, of course, the bunt, which should have never happened. And then when he stole third base and he like came off the base and then almost got tagged out at third, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you coming off the base? What's the, like, and I'm like, were you just showboating? I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. In the end, it didn't matter. Right. Mm-hmm. But it was just weird. It was weird. Do you really think the uniforms make a difference? D-Man, first of all, happy birthday. Second of all, take a look at how the Mariners have been in all the different jerseys so far this year, and you tell me. You decide for yourself.
What are they?
You yelled at your screen when Jung almost tagged him out. Same.
What is their record now in the City Connects? Like
14-1.
They're just going.
Oh my God, Greg!
Holy cow!
Holy shit!
You're a little laggy, so I'm gonna read this one. You like?
Thank you.
You're not like disconnecting, but just gonna. Greg, with $100, coming in hot, boys. So you're saying there's still a chance. Go M's in the Mojo boys. I trust. Greg, wow, unbelievable that you're doing that right now. We greatly appreciate that. Again, like bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for just being able to want to support us in that way. But yeah, there's still a chance. I mean, it's when you look at 2.5 back, it's more like 3.5 back in the wild card because of the tiebreakers. But with the way that they're playing and the other teams around them are playing and the schedules that are lining up, there's still a chance. And it's a little bit of copium, but that's okay because it's more fun, I think, in this way to just go with the flow in that way.
I'm going to reset myself to US West. Hold on. Hey, man.
He's in the server.
For real, man, it means a lot, especially with how crappy this baseball team has been this year. That you're willing to support us like that, man, especially at 9:45 on a Saturday night. You know what I mean? Just Greg coming in here with $100 holla, just top D of the week right there.
Just
from Greg being an
locking
absolute
it
legend.
in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I know we haven't been able to stream as much lately. Also because the team's just been bad.
Yeah.
So it's like streaming after a loss is just really tough because everyone's in a bad mood, including us. And we don't want to subject you guys to our bad moods, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But after a win like tonight, it just feels so good, man. It just feels so good to see the Mariners play some decent baseball. It's still a long shot. It is still a long shot for the Mariners moving forward, but the fact that they were able to come out and take this W today is huge. Nolan Void, 15 months, Nolan? Really? Already?
That's wild.
Nolan, 15 months. I still remember the first day I met Nolan. It was photo day for the Mariners, and there he was, just somehow right in front of me in line. It was so weird. Like, how is that? Like, how do the stars align for that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is always a long shot for us. That's just our lore. That is true, PJ. That is true. We just need to be 3 or 2 back from Houston, so that series will be huge. Yeah, I mean, if they can just find a way to stay close, then I think the Mariners have, I wouldn't say a good chance. I mean, this series coming up versus the Yankees is going to be tough. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a big game tomorrow. What time is the Seahawks game tomorrow? Is it also at 1?
They're playing the Patriots, I think, on the road, so it's a 10 o'clock.
It's probably at 10.
It's a 10 o'clock game, I think.
Got it. So, it's at 1?
Or is it at 1?
It's at 10. 10. Yeah, 10 a.m. tomorrow for the Seahawks. Mariners at 1, like right after one right after another. Chat. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Look at you guys is coming in. Just letting us know saying, 10 o'clock.
I had it first. I'm just going to throw it out there. I had it first. Kyle, keep up the good work, boys, with the me pog.
What a legend. 3 whole months, Kyle. You're
Kyle.
You're through the first trimester, man.
So happy for you. One Eastern. Yeah. For those Eastern time zone nerds, if you want, if you want. Yeah, what an idiot. But were you watching any were you scoreboard watching the Angels Astros at all?
Yes, I was.
Did you see the play when the Angels had the bases loaded?
No.
In the 8th. So I don't know who hit it. I think it was Logan O'Hoppe. They went to Ryan Presley. Logan O'Hoppe hits a ball into center field. It's kind of like a sinking fly ball. Myers was playing deep, no doubles, has to make a play on it coming in. So the runners on third and second didn't go, and he dove, and the ball kind of bounced underneath him, so they didn't really get a good jump.
Oh no!
And the guy on second, I think it was Shonwell. He was thrown out by half a baseline because he didn't break right away.
Would that have tied the game?
It would have tied the game 4-4. Of course, Tucker hits a home run in the top of the 9th, making it a 5-3 game. But still, I was watching play. I'm like, oh my god, the Angels just tied it, and then I watched Sean will get thrown out by 30 feet, And I was like, what? Where was bro? Is he running in like quicksand? Is he running in cement? Like, is bro stuck? I was just so confused. But yeah, it was a tough loss to be scoreboard watching for the Astros against the Angels in that one. I just saw someone say Padres Astros. I think it was PJ. Padres Astros need to lock in, or not Astros. Padres Angels need to lock in for us. Angels, if they can steal one tomorrow, great. Padres, like, play some of the best baseball you've ever played. The Josh Hader revenge series. All right, just go sweep them. We need it.
The anti Josh Hader revenge. Oh, you don't want to pitch a second inning?
Yeah.
Like, nah, Stan. I forgot you were in Melbourne. I think you've told me that before. That's crazy. The fact that it's 2:45 in Australia is crazy.
Australia.
Padres need a broom. I'm in. When is the point when haters of the uniform who don't like it turn to liking it due to the production? Second in production this month too, I believe is what the broadcast said. Crazy and Robles is God. I'm assuming you're talking about the City Connects. They've grown on me a lot ever since like probably the midway through last year. Like I was never a fan of the Black Pants, but they
hit.
They hooked me.
Dude, they hit. Yeah, and I think it's easy when they're winning in them.
Right.
If they were, say, instead of, was it 14-1, if they were 1-14 in them, never wear them again, kind of a thing. But like they're winning in them, so I think it definitely like helps the vibes surrounding the uniforms. But yeah, I think they're sick. It's just and it's just because it's good vibes like surrounding it. But I'm not looking at stats, Nunya. I closed the tabs that had the stats open. I said what I needed to say about the game already. We have the standings locked in our heads. We're still 4 back of the Astros. We're 2.5 back of the Twins. We're tied with the Tigers. Like, we're good. We got it locked in.
Yeah, I just don't know fashion. Braden, that's true. I wear Hawaiian shirts 9 times out of 10.
I mean, you are literally wearing the City Connect Kid logo shirt from Simply Seattle. Use code Mojo10 at checkout for 10% off your order. But like, it's just kind of funny.
Backlog. Happy 6 months to your daughter, man. That's exciting. What a good day, man. I mean, we would have preferred. Joe and I are more Huskies guys, but
I'm mainly just a Huskies. I mean, my dad. Like, that's what I was raised. But I also just like want him to not be mad.
Yeah.
And that's that loss today will definitely have his blood boiling a little bit, but yeah.
I think I'm more of a Huskies guy also because of your dad. So
yeah.
Get some Couch GM merch. Connor's got fire merch, man. He does.
Connor better hook it up. I'm just kidding.
Connor, we want all the free merch and we'll wear it on stream.
Exactly. We'll do some cross promotion. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Send it to him, chat. Send it to him. Make sure he knows. Should we walk Aaron Judge in every at bat when he comes here? Yes.
He had a big home run off Gilbert last year, right?
I believe so.
I almost looked up stats.
Do it.
I was gonna look up Aaron Judge's stats in T-Mobile. It doesn't matter, bros.
I can do it.
Him and Soto, they're incredible. Obviously, Judge's home run pace has slowed down tremendously. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
On Paw Patrol, man.
Exactly. It is Paw Patrol. The Paw Patrol nerf. It's like the Madden curse, but different. I look at that series, and with how the vibes are going right now, and I think it's Patrick, I think said earlier, if only we wouldn't have thrown away the Thursday night game, essentially, against the Rangers. It was a 5-4 game, it was a loss, but like if you're on the 3-game win streak against a division rival at home, and then you have a chance to mop them, get a day off, keep those vibes high, and then you have New York coming to town, like that could do wonders for you as far as elevating your level of play against a team like the Yankees.
Did I tell you Aaron Judge's stats against the Mariners as a whole?
Sure.
So in 35 games versus the Mariners in his career, Judge is hitting .294 with 37 hits. 15 of those are home runs.
Ouch.
In 35 games, he has 15 home runs versus the Mariners. 31 RBIs and 30 runs scored. That's disgusting.
217 WRC plus and 88 plate appearances in Seattle, Ian says. Yeah, let's honestly walk him every at bat. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
I'm sucking it.
Colton, Mitchell Hopkins has a fantasy football question for you since you're the fantasy football god.
Should I start Jordan Mason or Zach Charbonnet tomorrow? Jordan Mason had a good game last week. I mean, I think that
Kenneth Walker's doubtful. He's not.
he's
not
doubtful.
Gonna play.
Charbonnet will be the play. I would go with Mason though. I would go with Mason Mitchell.
I don't know. It's a pretty bad New England team. Seattle might be
true.
running the ball a lot. You don't know.
Let's put it this way. The last time that Joe asked me who he should play this week, I said don't play Devon Achane, or Achane, or however the hell you say his name.
Yeah, it was between him and Garrett Wilson was the final decider, and I swear to God, you said Sid Achane play Wilson, but I could have
crazy because I love Devon Achane, so I can't believe I would say that.
Maybe you did it as like a way to screw me over. But,
maybe.
Patrick, to answer your question, that is a picture of me. It's from the trade deadline stream where I had half of my beard shaved.
Good day. Very good day.
Great day. Good vibes.
I look back at that stream with such nostalgia.
Yeah,
such a good day.
It was 2 months ago, but or not even. It was like a month and a half ago.
Feels like so long ago.
Yeah, but it was such a good day.
Yeah, I mean, we had the whole thing with the goose. We streamed for 6.5 hours.
I ate a Chipotle burrito. Yeah. We're just fat.
There were some massive donos in that stream as well. People went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was our biggest day on the channel ever in terms of donations, and honestly, probably in terms of views. Well, probably not in terms of views because we've got a few shorts.
I think in terms of concurrent viewers, I think the Polanco trade day or the Kelnick trade day are still the
probably
two.
The Kelnick.
Either one of them, but those are the top three, I think. But that stream was a movie.
Joe shaved his face.
God.
I want you to know.
Let's make the super cut of that stream.
That towel is still out on the chair.
You're lying.
I haven't moved it.
Why?
I keep forgetting.
Is it just a part of it now?
It needs to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the heck are you deciding between Wilson and Achane? I will be honest with you, Mitchell. It is an 8-team league with a lot of Colton's online friends. Austin Jackson, who is in this stream, his first round pick was Lamar Jackson. He was just picking anybody named Jackson. So my team is loaded with what are they?
Teams are stacked.
Yeah, just running backs, wide receivers, they're stacked, which is why that's the decision I had to make. Mm-hmm. But that's not the point.
Didn't the 2023 deadline stream get demonetized for something really dumb? Did it?
It was demonetized because I showed a clip on stream of the JP, I think, making a diving play, and it was claimed after it was processed. But you got Chuba Hubbard. I want to say mean words to you. I want to say mean words to you so bad. Yeah, it's actually 3.5 because the tiebreakers. Yeah, I almost said 35. Jesus Lord, where are we?
Almost 35 games back.
Are we the White Sox?
35 games back of 4th place, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is technically 3.5 if you guys are looking at the standings as it stands right now. Since the Twins and the Tigers do own the season series over us, we will have to place one game. We have to finish one game better than them at the end of the year to place higher than them in the standings. So we cannot end tied with either the Twins or the Tigers. But yeah, I guess, or the Red Sox. But we're behind. We're ahead of them right now. So I can't. Sorry, I can't see you in the rear view, little bro.
Okay.
So.
Assuming the Mariners make the playoffs this month with Dan Wilson, is it still deserving that Dipoto built a good team beyond this year and that Scott was the main problem? That is a question that I feel like we'll try to answer more in the offseason. But as we sit here right now, the team that Jerry Dipoto put together is not good. It is very clear that Jorge Polanco's been bad, Mitch Garver's been bad. Those were the two biggest acquisitions you made this offseason. Yeah. They've been bad. I mean, that's not to say the process wasn't good, because in their careers, Garver's been good and Polanco's been good.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't work out is beyond me. I mean, I don't get paid a lot of money to figure out that guys aren't going to work out. So I can't say whether it was a good process or a bad process, but in the end, the results speak for themselves. Those guys are not good. The guys that were added were not good. And as for whether or not it's Scott or whatever, what could you say, Scott? Could you say Jared DeHart? It's probably a combination of both. plus adding Randy AROZARENA, even though he hasn't been great, you added Randy AROZARENA and Justin Turner to this team. Guys have gotten healthy, and Julio specifically. Like that, there are there's plenty of nuance to it. I think for us to really know if Dan Wilson is like the saving grace for this team is next year. Like we can't know in like the 30 games that he gets to manage this year. Like I know the guys love Dan, and obviously the results right now have been good comparatively. But at the same time, nobody was having this conversation at the start of this year when the Mariners were 10 games up. Like Scott did a great job at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then all of a sudden it just something happened where everything fell off the table. It was like the perfect storm, and unfortunately, that's just the way it happened. It's really a story. This season can really be broken into 3 parts, in my opinion. There's like the up until like June 1st part of the Mariners season, and then there is the June 1st to like August. Like, when was Scott fired?
Like the end,
sometime in August.
Yeah, like towards the end of August.
And then the third part is basically the Dan Wilson era. So we'll have to have like a full synopsis on this season after the year, and I think Joe and I will probably try to find a way to put that together. But overall, I mean, like I said, you can break this season into basically 3 parts. Whether or not Scott was the problem, because like I said, they were great. They were great for the first, half of the season basically, and then they fell off for a third of it. And now they're slowly making their way back up. They haven't been great, but they're figuring it out as a baseball team. Sometimes that you go through stretches like that, but the Mariners went through a hell of a long stretch, so it's really tough to say at this point.
They can see that I'm opening tabs.
Great, it's nice knowing you guys.
They caught me. Dan Wilson is 12-9, which is the highest winning percentage of any Mariners manager.
Okay.
In the history of the franchise. So Dan Wilson has saved the season.
That's right. 12-9, baby.
I think what Backlog said was an overcomplicated hitting approach was the main problem in his eyes. And I think that's being shown to an extent, and sure, the sample size isn't like fully we can trust that sample size, but in the 21 games that since Edgar has taken over, right, the offense has looked exceptionally better. And if it's that old school approach of I look at batting average and everything that Jerry DiPoto probably hates the fact that Edgar Martinez said that out loud, for whatever reason that the advanced stats just don't resonate with him, and then whatever he's saying is resonating with the players, at this, whatever works, I think, is what I'm fine with. I've said that a ton as far as when Scott was still the coach and whatever. It's if he does get fired, if DeHart does get fired, whatever, and they start winning, great. I'd rather that than the opposite, or I'd rather that than them stay and they continue to lose. I don't care. What I care about is winning. And sure, could we have fired Scott at the beginning of the collapse as soon as the 10-game lead was lost? Maybe. But I think given the track record of the previous seasons, I don't think it was really justifiable at that point. It's just, it kind of boiled over as it progressed, that continuous struggle. And it always felt like DeHart and Scott were going to be a conjoined firing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They were tied to each other.
And I think Edgar, if he wants it, he's got the hitting coach job next year, locked up. If he wants it. And I think that's the maybe not the issue, but the, I guess, question going forward of Dan's the manager, but will Edgar stay as the hitting coach? Because they haven't really said anything concrete about it, and it's been very we don't know. And I think a lot of people kind of understand that it might not be a permanent thing, and that it's kind of scary, because if you see that success and then it's going to go away, you have to hope that whatever they learned in those 30 games, and sure, he's still going to be around. It's not like he's going to completely ditch hanging out with the team. But if he's not in there every single day like he has been, you just have to hope that whatever the players took from it sticks with them and they're able to practice it again next year, if that makes sense.
I don't think he'll be back next year.
I don't think so either.
Ian said, Edgar doesn't want it. He had it before. He wasn't fired back in the day. He wasn't fired. He quit. He didn't want to do it anymore. He Edgar's got a family. You know what I mean? He lives in Seattle. And he doesn't want to have to be at every single game. He took it for the 30 games, right? But he doesn't want to have to be there every single night. And I can't say that I blame him. I mean, it's a grueling season. He did it for so long. Like, I can't say I blame the guy for not wanting to be there. He has earned his spot in Cooperstown. It's time for the guy to relax if he wants to. I would love to have him back. If what we're seeing out of the offense right now is what would happen if Edgar's your hitting coach, I'd love to have him back. Like, is there a number that you could offer him in terms of money that could get him back? I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wants it. I really don't think he does. And that's fine. Like, I don't blame the guy for that. It is what it is. Dan will be back. Obviously. But yeah, they'll do a full search in the offseason. And if they do decide that Edgar's the guy and they want to offer him a crap ton of money and he decides to take it, great. But if not, I will not be shocked if Edgar's not back next year. Somebody asked, do you have any people you want to sign or trade for this offseason? I mean, yes. I mean,
plenty.
Juan Soto has always been at the very top of my list. Like, I was saying last year, I'd rather have Juan Soto than Shohei Ohtani.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And because he's younger. I mean, Juan Soto's what, like 26? Like 27? Juan Soto's young as hell.
I think he's younger than 27, but I can't confirm on 26.
Yeah. And so I think that
he's 25. He turns 26 in October.
Oh my God.
He has been a major leaguer for a decade and a half, it feels like.
And he's only 2 years older than Julio.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, Juan Soto is only 25, chat. Like, he's not even in his prime yet. And he is one of the best players in baseball. He is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Like, that is a guy that if you could add anybody this offseason, it's not going to happen, obviously. We all know that. We all know the Mariners are not going to give up, like, spend that kind of money. It's not going to happen. But if that's the case, like, I would be thrilled to have Juan Soto out there. It's like I said, it's not going to happen. Other guys, I mean,
the unfortunate thing is after Juan Soto, this free agent class is really thin.
Especially now that Matt Chapman signed.
BR Walkoff is literally just like engagement farming with the Alex Bregman, like top 10 destinations, having the Mariners at the first spot. Like, it's literally just rage bait engagement farming. I don't want Alex Bregman. Like,
no. He's a flea on the nutsack society.
Sure. Like, and it like if he was a Milwaukee Brewer and he was still like this, like his same personality, I'd probably want him more. But since he's an Astro, but since he's an Astro, it like takes it down like 2-3 pegs, kind of a thing. Like, it's just not, it's not what you want as far as a Mariners like fan is concerned. I haven't really thought about too much like off-season stuff yet, about like figuring out like who to sign or who to trade for, like guys that I would like be targeting.
And a lot of it's so hard because we don't know if guys like we don't know if Bellinger's going to opt out. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know.
There's a lot that can happen over the next, say, like month and a half that would lead to that decision until the World Series is done, about like what, I guess, path the Mariners go down in the offseason, and also like I think how the rest of the season shakes out. Like, if they go on a miracle run, that completely changes the landscape of what the Mariners can do in this offseason. Like, if they go on a miracle run, I'm not going to say they win the World Series, but like, that's the perfect end scenario. Obviously, the worst case scenario is them not making the playoffs. Like, those two ends completely change how this offseason plan can look. And so, like, I just don't know if I have a, like, a committal name that I could, like, really just pull off the top of my head. Ian, honestly,
I say over.
I'm going to say the over. Like,
unless you think it's, like, 8 years.
Yeah, like, if it's going to be, like, a 12-year contract, escalators involved in there somewhere, similar to, like, Julio's, where it's, like, MVPs, like, accolade-based, stuff like that, games played, maybe, like, innings played in the outfield if they're worried about how his, like, body wears down and, like, he becomes more of a full-time DH in his mid-30s. Like, that's definitely a possibility as far as that contract is concerned. I'm saying over $600 million, though, because bro's insane. He's
25.
He is... is he the best pure left-handed hitter in baseball? I mean, you've got him, Jordan, Shohei. Are those the top
I'd
three
say
left-handed
those are
bats?
top three.
Like, and then
Yeah.
maybe like Freddie Freeman has left that stratosphere of like being pure bats from the left-handed side, but yeah, I don't know. Juan Soto's crazy. What's up,
Yeah.
user?
Yeah, it's that's another reason why I don't think he'll come here. I don't know. There's going to be plenty of time for us to break down who we think the Mariners will go after this offseason. We'll roster bait the hell out of it. You know we will.
Yeah.
Devers at times. Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Devers is another guy who is just a pure lefty. He does have his slumps. I just feel like are a bit more pronounced, and maybe that's because he plays in Boston. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, in terms of trades, it is so hard now with the way the playoffs are set up because you don't know who all is going to be available. What teams are going to be doing? What teams are going to be selling? Did you see, Joe, that the White Sox said they're not going to be like players and whatnot? They feel comfortable with the guys they have in house.
Yeah, I saw that Chris Getz did say that. It's
like, what?
If there's if there's ever a way to say that you're selling in 2020, like already, like you're already selling for the next year, that's the exact way to say it. The roster makeup of player talent on that team, I don't think it can be as bad, but it won't be much better. Like they'll get 50 wins.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it's just like, it's embarrassing. Like, again, I'm not here to defend the front office. I'm not here to defend the ownership or anything, but like, we could be,
we ain't them.
We could be the White Sox.
Right.
The grass isn't always greener, but the grass can be greener. Like, there's definitely like both sides of that.
I think another question that goes into what the Mariners are going to do this offseason is what do they do with the contract of Jorge Polanco? I'm assuming they decline it, right? And so you have an opening at second base. I mean, JP has not been good, but he's your captain, so he's going to be your shortstop in 2025.
His contract is up
after next year, I think.
Yeah. I think like if it's another down year offensively, like next year will be like kind of like the last hurrah potentially with JP, because like depending on how Cole Young will be looking, like Emerson
will be another year closer.
Exactly. Like it'll be like father time's ticking, I guess. As for ticking.
Apparently not for you.
Jesus Lord, I'm rewinding time. Yeah, I understand the people, like JP hasn't looked good. There've been very, very many frustrating at-bats. And I think if there's a guy that can get back to being league average, I think JP's a guy that can do it. But it'll be an interesting year how it goes. I think with how dynamic the outfield has been, I don't think the whole trading Randy thing will come to fruition. How Divish kind of like, not like theorized or like teased or anything. It's just like a conversation about how they could allocate money, right? That's the only reason why talking about Randy getting traded was brought up, was like how they can figure out how to make the money work. With how the outfield is like looked, like you roll into next year with the core four of Randy, Julio, Robles, and then you have Raley as your fourth, but he's playing first base more often than not. That's a solid foundation that you do not need to mess with whatsoever. I think you decline Polo's option. You find some sort of upgrade at third if you're able to, and then you let Moore, Rojas, and Young and Bliss all try and figure out second base. And then first base, again, if you can find a backup there, like that could be that third base, like it's a third base, first base situation, maybe. I mean, I don't know who's available, but like that's kind of like where my head would be at for how that $12 million can get spent. That we're not going to be paying Polanco.
Yeah, and like you said, I think the outfield's locked in. I would not be shocked if the Mariners go into this offseason looking at every single position of the infield trying to get better. Every single one.
Yeah.
Like, other than catcher, of course, if you consider that the infield. But, I mean, Cal, he should be extended this offseason. That's the thing that should just happen. It's not going to happen, but it should, like somebody was saying in chat. But third base is a must. Like, Rojas has been great defensively, but ever since his little, like, Cinderella run at the start of the year, he's been pretty bad.
Yeah, offensively.
And I think that, no, Jacob, I completely agree. Like, there's plenty of reasons why free agents don't come here. And I can't say that I blame them. That's why there's been so much talk about trading a starting pitcher for offense. And that is why, especially with a weak free agent class, I would not be shocked if that does happen. I'm gonna hate it. Miss Gino, I agree. I want Gino back. I agree, Alex. And Code Red. I think that it sucks. I really don't want to trade someone from the starting staff, but you might have to. And that's what sucks. It's like, I don't know who it is, but I think that if you do trade somebody from the starting staff to the Orioles or the Cardinals or someone like that, then the Mariners are going to be in a better spot offensively, and they can find a way to supplement that in the rotation. Whether that be signing somebody else, letting it be Emerson Hancock with Brandon Garcia and Logan Evans knocking on the door. I don't know. Yeah. But it's hard right now. It really is. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm more so in the camp of like not wanting to trade one of the starting pitchers. Just like you don't want to break up that talent. And like coming toward like at the closing tail end of this offseason, Hollander and Dipoto both kind of talked pretty like largely at how they're glad that they did not end up moving Miller or Wu because none of the deals kind of materialized. They didn't really like the process that was going on with it. And that has like, they have like shown this season why that could have been a disastrous move potentially. Going into this offseason, like you're probably looking at trading any of the starting pitchers in that same light, aside from maybe Castillo, because like he is probably plateaued. But getting someone like if you're trading Castillo, he is going to get you the least amount in a return.
Yep.
Out of
unless you pay down his contract.
Unless you pay down his contract, which
and even then
it's like a weird like why would Seattle do that if they are trying to offload money to put it somewhere else? It's definitely like a weird thing. I think with the amount of money that they have, like that they'll clear up with trading or not doing Polanco's club option, like is like the 12 to 15 million and like enough. I don't know, but there's probably going to be a salary dump trade with a prospect this offseason. Like it's just going to happen. If it's one of the Mitches, I wouldn't be surprised. Odd year Mitch Garver. If we have to trade him and then he goes off, I'm just going to say it. We always knew odd year Mitch Garver was going to come up. Okay. It was written in the stars that odd year Mitch Garver was the way, but sometimes you just can't sit and wait on it that whole time. So.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in terms of the guys coming up through the system, I mean, there's a decent chance that some of these guys do end up hitting. I mean, the Mariners have so many. It would be very, very surprising if none of them hit, at least to find an everyday guy out of there. I'm not saying a superstar, but just an everyday, like in the bottom third of your order every single day with like a 105 WRC plus in 2025. You know what I mean? I would be shocked if they can't do that.
Yeah.
Chad, I think that's going to do it from us. We're going to keep it short today because we both got to work in the morning. But again, we appreciate all you guys being here. Greg with the $100 holla. Absolute legend from Greg. Joe, any parting thoughts?
I think I'll answer the last. Which Mitch would you want to trade? I would rather trade Mitch Haniger than I would rather trade Mitch Garver. I think Garver provides you a little bit more than Haniger does, and given the depth in the outfield, it just makes more sense. But again, that also stings. It hurts having to trade a guy like Haniger. And like to Patrick's point of like, it would be nice to see Urias without there needing to be a lefty amount. They haven't done any of like the platoon, like switching guys up in the middle of games like a lot recently. They've just been giving the guys the at-bats and just kind of rolling with it. And that seemed to be working. Like Urias had a great game against the Athletics. I'm sure we'll see him in the game tomorrow against Heaney. We'll see Garver tomorrow more than likely. Obviously, because Cal's not going to catch that many games in a row. I mean, he can. And Kirby's pitching. So, like, you'll see how the lineup looks against the lefty. If they get some production out of those guys, that'll be great. But I think that's I'm kind of done with my thoughts there. Do you have any closing thoughts?
Nah, man. I mean, I think that after a game like today, you just have to keep winning. You just have to keep fighting, you know? Ken Griffey Jr. style. Like, as long as the Mariners can keep winning each series and, you know, going out there and hopefully the Astros lose a few. I mean, they've won, 10 of their last 16. as long as the Twins keep losing, as long as the Tigers can start losing, like the Mariners might be able to find themselves in a good spot. We might be able to talk here in a week's time. Yes, Dizzle, I do have a few that do watch this.
I don't.
A week from now, we will probably know where we sit in terms of, are the Mariners going to the playoffs? I think a week from now, we will know. And this week is going to be hell.
Yeah.
It's going to be so awful. Like I'm going to cry. But yeah, we're going to, I think a week from now we'll know, chat. So just keep that in mind. Mark it. A week from now on September 21st at 10:19 p.m., we will know if the Mariners are going to go to the playoffs.
Damn.
Mark it.
Booking it now. That's gonna be it. We're gonna leave. So we're ending stream now.
All right. All right, guys.
See you guys later.
See you later.
Yeah.
Bye. Good night, guys.
Lucari, we're just gonna leave you here in the darkness in the middle of the night at 10:18. Yep.
All right.
See you guys later.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yep. Have a good night.